Hello and welcome to Alliance War Season 49, Episode 9. So we did manage to beat DD13, got them by 4 deaths. Does put us up to 4 and 4, so 28th in Masters. We always seem to get to 4 and 4, and makes this 9th war very crucial. We won the 9th war last season, and so winning this war would be absolutely crucial to finishing in that Masters spot. We've got 5 fights today, so it's a bit of a comfier war than last war for sure. But our opponent is SSX, so they're currently, they're not as strong as they used to be. They're Platinum 1 Alliance, they're typically a Masters Alliance. They've banned Colossus, Dominator Corvus, and it seems our 7-star rank 2 Dust, our 6-star rank 6 Dr. Doom, and our 6-star rank 5 Dani Moonstar. So we've got 2 tactical attackers on our team, Dani and Dust. Dani's actually going to just be taking the one fight, and it's just a matchup that Dust isn't really suited for. But Dust will be taking the majority of the fights. We're going to be starting with our Alliance War offense setup for the Dani fight and the Doom fight. And then we will be switching to our Loadout 3, which is our recoil setup for Dust, because she's very recoil friendly. So starting on Path 7 here, we've got this Kingpin. So yeah, Dust doesn't really take Kingpin that well because of all the Dust, all the stand debuffs she puts on him. But so we're using Dani here. She's not the best Kingpin counter in the world, but because she's a tactic attacker, she works pretty well. And so we're going to start here by just getting to our special 1, and this will place him energy vulnerability. I do have some mutant power boost on. In hindsight, it probably would have been better just to go to the special 2, and that's because you'll see the special 1 actually does a really nice amount of damage. So I thought the special 2 probably would have been even crazier. And because this guy was just being really stingy with his special 1s, it took me a while to get back to my special 2. And I probably also should have thrown this special 1 earlier than what I did, because you can see I only have about 0.2 bars of power at the moment, instead of 0.9 like you should. So that was a tiny bit of a mistake there. So you'll see the energy vulnerability is going to wear off before you get to a special 2 easily. And because of his rage debuffs, they give him extra combat power rate, means we get to debate more special attacks. The good thing is that our tactic paralysis can remove his chance to purify, so we can parry him if we want, but we decide not to. Not for any particular reason. Just feel more comfortable doing it that way. So, we actually lost a lot of tactic power, so we have to do a few hits in the block just to build those up again. To get another special 1 out of him, we're pretty much at a special 2 now, so we decide to block here, get some newer arrows into a special 2, and you can see this is easily just going to finish him off, even though we only have 2 arrows. It's just a super overkill. So definitely could have done that fight quicker, but we'll take the result. The next fight here on Part 7 is this Absorbing Man. So I think they placed him here just because there is a node where if you throw a special attack they get armor broken, but that doesn't really matter. Like, it just pauses his form if he's in a form, but if we deactivate his form it doesn't really change anything. So as long as we keep him deactivated it doesn't really make a difference. So we heavy counter his special 1 there. We're just trying to get to special 2 as quickly as possible. We could have thrown a power star 1 boost, but I want to save those for more champions that need the power star 1 more, like Corvus. So we heavy counter the special 2. We're almost at special 3 now. He gets another special 1 out. I'm not sure why that didn't deactivate his form. Maybe I was a bit too slow on the heavy, so we didn't actually deactivate his form there and remove the regen, even though it wasn't like 2 special 1s in a row. So I'm not sure why that happened. But it doesn't really hurt us too much, because the Uru form is his physical vulnerability, his physical resistance state, but Doom is all energy based. So if he's in Uru, it's fine as long as he's not in Magma when we go into our aura here, and it's fine. So we just do a standard Doom special 3 rotation, a Doom combo, and I actually messed it up because I didn't throw the 1 extra hit that I needed, but we actually intercept there with special 2, and that finishes them off. Alright, so now onto the Dust fight. So we have turned on our recoil mastery now, we're into Loadout 3. And we're back at our regular home with Path 9 in Section 2. And that's because Dust is both bleed and shock immunity, as well as poison, but we just need the bleed and shock immunity for this path. And we've got this Werewolf by Night here. I made a mistake by letting him howl, because it's good for getting an opening, but it does also give him those lycanthropy charges. So if he does get to 10, he will go unstoppable and unblockable, because he is an awakened Werewolf by Night, 6200 I believe, because it is a 6-star. So we have to be careful about that. There's also Power Focus 2. I'm much more comfortable detecting the special 2. If you throw special 1s like that, I just want to block it. We do take a little bit of rupture damage, but we can easily heal from that with willpower. So he does go unstoppable there and unblockable. We have to just get out of his face, because if he hits us, there's going to be a lot of rupture damage. And it could, like, you know, even like a couple of hits could probably kill us. So we get into our special 3 here. This will activate our Sandstorm. It doesn't consume any power, so we can just intercept with the special 2, and that's it, pretty much. That does passively stun him, so we can get back to another special 2 with the mutant power boosts, and that does it for Werewolf. And now for this is definitely the most interesting fight of the war. So we've got a thing here. This is on One Eye Open. This is the 5th time I've taken this node this season. 4 times it's been Killmonger. So this is the first time it hasn't been Killmonger. It's been Thing. And Dust is just close to my favourite Thing counter now, and that's because she can ignore Unstoppable when she's in her Sandstorm. She's definitely not the quickest Thing counter. You know, we've got Black Cat and other champions, but for this node setup with One Eye Open and has Shift Shock Bleed, she's probably the best option. So basically, we want to get to our Sandstorm with the special 3. We could also activate it with a heavy, but I think the special 3 is the way to go. And until then, we can't ignore Unstoppable. But it's when we activate our Sandstorm, we will put a Grit passive. It's like a red, sort of like a hurricane icon, and that's the Grit passive, so that lets us ignore Unstoppable. But until then, we've still got to play Thing like normal, get him to 15 rock stacks, and just keep comping him up to. We haven't really triggered protection at all. That's another thing that Dusk can do. When she parries Thing, when she parries in general, she glances. So when we parry Thing, he actually can't activate his protection on parry because we glance it. So that's a nice bonus that Dust has. We're at a special 3 now. This will activate our Sandstorm and let us ignore the Unstoppable, because he did have 11 charges and it was only about half a bar of power, so we could have kept going, but thought play it safe, get to the special 3. You can see that red sort of Sandstorm icon that will let us ignore Unstoppable. So very similar in a way to Valkyrie. So you can easily push past that. He is taking physical damage from the Sandstorm, and as long as we don't stun him, we're not going to take any damage back. And that does it with the Striker. Alright guys, last fight for this war. All the other fights were 6-star ascended, but this is the first rank 3 we've fought. And we've got an Attuma here, so Dust is a pretty good Attuma counter, not the best, but all her light attacks are non-contact, so she doesn't take any Thorns damage from those. She will take Thorns damage from her medium attacks. It also has Burden of Might, so I was trying not to dex too much, but unfortunately I did end up dexing a lot of his heavy attacks. And I think even some of his special ones, just by accident. I didn't like try like in duels to overly not dex or whatever. But yeah, I just ended up dexing some of these attacks when I didn't mean to. It doesn't really matter because you can see we're doing a ton of damage just from our basic attacks. We weren't really into the special attacks. And you can see he's at high hydration now. What I should have done here is on a Striker into a heavy. I think that's what I did, but I just forgot. After taking a Thing fight, I forgot that he had the Grit. So we actually could have ignored the Unstoppable here instead of parrying him. But I did decide to parry him just because I normally do that against Attuma. But yeah, we could have just ignored the Unstoppable, and then he wouldn't have had all those concussions on him like he does now. So we do actually take quite a bit of damage back here just from all those concussions. But it doesn't matter because that's our last fight for the war. So we did manage to get 5 solos. And it puts our solo rate up at just under 98%, so pretty solid war, pretty chill to be honest, but definitely a good recovery after yesterday's or last war's embarrassment. So that's going to do it for me today guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.